third heading, that is adding manures and fertilizers, which is under the basic agricultural practices. Now let us see what are manures and fertilizers and how well they are beneficial to the farmland. Actually, when you grow the plants in the farmland, it absorbs the nutrients for its growth, mainly from the soil. Suppose if the plants are grown continuously in the field, what happens to the nutrients? The nutrients get reduced. That will result or reflect in reduced yield. So, it is our duty or responsibility to enrich the nutrient to the soil. How to enrich? How to make the soil good enough to grow the plants? Either by adding the manure or by adding the fertilizer. Now, manures are basically the natural substances or the organic matter, whereas fertilizers are the chemical substances. Now, we will see different methods to enrich the soil. First one is the fallow land. Here, the land is left as such without any cultivation. That is, after growing the first set of crop, after harvesting the crop, the land is left uncultivated for one or more seasons. As a result, the microbes present in the soil start to decompose the dead and decaying matter. Thus, it adds humus to the soil. The next method is given in your book as crop rotation, but the content actually means mixed cropping, where two or more crops are grown on the same field. That means mixed cropping actually. But in your book it is given under the heading of crop rotation. But actually the crop rotation means for the first season or for the first cultivation, if one variety of plant is grown, for the next situation or for the next season, the next variety should be planted. As a result, the nutrient present in the soil may be replenished by itself, because the nutrients vary from plant to plant. The absorption of nutrient vary from plant to plant. That is actually crop rotation. Now, as per your book, let us see in detail about crop rotation. That is, the cereals are grown in the same field, the legumes are also grown. Cereals include rice, barley and other grains. Legumes include beans, pea, etc. So, if one row of cereal is planted, to the next row, the leguminous plants are being grown. What is the benefit obtained from this? As you know very well, that the roots of the leguminous plants possess rhizobium bacteria. The root nodules possess rhizobium bacteria, and that bacteria traps the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into nitrates. The nitrates are easily absorbed by the cereal plants. So this is the benefit obtained from the leguminous plant. So here, without going for artificial mode of enriching the soil, by growing the next variety of plant, the soil improves its nitrogen requirement. The next one is how to produce or make different types of manures. First one is the farmyard manure, where cow dung, dried hay and the dairy products are allowed to decompose. These are the products from the farm. Next one is the compost. Here it includes the vegetable waste, even the cow dung also can be added, and it is allowed to decompose by the action of microbes. Third one is the vermicompost. Here both vegetable and the animal compost are allowed to decompose along with earthworms. Fourth one is the green manuring. the plants, especially the legumes or the plants like sun hemp, mustard, are grown in the field. After it attains certain period of time, that is after its growth, after it reaches certain period, it is plowed as such. It is uh, plowed in the sense allowed to get decomposed in the same field. On decomposing, it adds nourishment to the soil. This process is otherwise called as mulching. 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 The next one is the fertilizer. Fertilizers are basically the chemical substances which are produced in the industries. Here, we used to prefer the NPK fertilizer. NPK, already you know the symbol of N. N represents the nitrogen, P represents phosphorus, K represents potassium. So, the chemical which is rich in all the three are preferred to the farmland. Basically, they are obtained in different forms. For example, the nitrogenous fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, sodium nitrate, etc. The phosphate fertilizers include superphosphate, ammonium phosphate, etc. Then the potassium fertilizers includes the potash or potassium sulfate. Urea, it is also a complex fertilizer. So these are made in the industries and are supplied to the field to add nourishment to the soil. Clear, children? Let me sum up the definition of crop rotation, manure and fertilizer. Please do listen. Crop rotation means the practice of growing different types of crops alternately on the same piece of land. Growing different types of crops alternately on the same piece of land. Manures, these are the natural substances obtained by decomposition of vegetable and animal waste by the action of microbes or microorganisms. The natural substances obtained by decomposition of vegetable and animal waste by the action of microorganisms. Fertilizers are chemical substances commercially produced in factories. Clear, children? Now we will see the advantages of manure and the fertilizer. Manures, as I already told you, they are the organic substances. Fertilizers are the chemical substances. Manures can be added to the plant to add the general nutrient, whereas the fertilizer specifically can be added to the plant based on the need. As I told you, nitrogen based fertilizers are available, phosphate based fertilizers are available, potassium based fertilizers are available. So based on the need of the plant, it can be added to the plant separately. Now we will see the advantages of manure and the fertilizer. It adds nutrient to the soil. It improves the soil fertility. It increases the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous. So the space between the soil particles are increased. As a result, it penetrates or it helps the air to pass through. It does not cause any pollution. They are renewable. That means can be obtained again and again without getting exhausted. Biodegradable, decomposed by the action of microbes. Eco-friendly, does not harm the environment. Very cheap, cost effective. These are the advantages of manure. When you list the advantages of the fertilizer, they are specific nutrients. So based on the need of the plant, the fertilizers are added. Even a small quantity can give good yield. It is readily absorbed by the plant because the chemical fertilizers are water soluble. They are easy to store, easy to transport and can be added easily to the soil. Even a small amount brings drastic improvement in the crop yield. These are the advantages of the fertilizer. Now, let me list out the disadvantages. Here, as I told you already, manures add only the general nutrient, whereas fertilizers can be added based on the need of the plant. They are not easy to store because they are bulky, not easy to transport, cannot be added easily. They are absorbed slowly by the plants because basically the manures are insoluble. So, insoluble component of the manure is decomposed by the bacteria and is made soluble. Once it becomes soluble, it is readily absorbed by the plants. When you see the disadvantages of the fertilizer, they do not add humus. You know very well, humus plays a vital role in enriching the soil. But fertilizer does not do so. It may change the nature of the soil structure because fertilizers are chemicals. So, the soil may become either acidic or alkaline. They do not bind well with the soil. When it is spread over the surface of the soil, during the process of irrigation or during the rain, it may be washed off and it may enter into the nearby water body. As a result, the water becomes unfit for human consumption. And one more story is there, that is eutrophication. Because of the enriched fertilizer, it allows the plants to grow well in the water surface. As a result, the oxygen does not penetrate and the aquatic animals may suffer with the depleted quantity of oxygen. That is the next case of eutrophication that also may be added along with this disadvantage. Now, last point is it may harm the aquatic plants or the animals. Clear, children? Okay, so we have completed the third topic of agricultural practices. Please do read the content of the lesson. Thank you all.